A editorial just came out by the anti-union Oregonian. In binding arbitration, let TriMet drivers have the right to strike again. And this is significant for a number of reasons. And I know a lot of people don't know me or don't like me or have opinions of me or whatever. But one thing everybody will admit is I've been following this shit for a long, long time. Okay, I've been watching for many, many years the goings-on of TriMet and the union. And this is a very significant editorial here because what we're seeing here is a repeat of the Neil Mcfarlane union busting bullshit. Okay, now I know for a fact that drivers are getting unjust discipline right now, and they did that back when the last contract was disputed. They started using discipline against everybody they could as an attempt to destabilize the union. They stole from our paychecks. They did all kinds of illegal shit first time around, okay? All kinds of illegal shit. It's documented on my blog. I'm not going to look it up right now, but believe me, what the company did to the employees was unconscionable. I mean, these are sociopaths at the same level as our politicians. Anyway, let's go through this, and I'll show you where my problem is and how we know that nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Kelsey has not changed anything. Kelsey was recruited by Mcfarlane himself. Even though they say they had a worldwide search, they lied, just like all the politicians. He was recruited by Mcfarlane, and Mcfarlane trained him for 2 years to take over for him. Mcfarlane left, I'm sure, because they wanted this tax grab. You know, they want this $7 billion or however many. They want a lot of money. They're asking for a lot of money from the taxpayers, and Mcfarlane was a impediment to that. So they want to get his face off of this whole deal, and he lives in some luxury penthouse somewhere, and he's still involved with transit. I hear he's on some committees. He's a terrible person, by the way. Just awful. As bad as Trump, as far as I'm concerned. In Oregon, transit workers may go on strike for better wages because to do so is what they believe may cause civic disruption while wreaking economic damages. In this respect, transit workers are viewed as central to the workings and security day-to-day of society, police, and firefighters. Also barred from striking and required to participate in binding interest arbitration. The whole idea is to save society from the headache of strikes while providing fruitful bargaining alternative. Okay, that's all right. That's all true. Now, let's keep going. Then there's Portland's hobbled mass transit agency. What do you mean Portland's hobbled mass transit? There's your first lie right there. Okay, it's not hobbled. Do I have to show you all the capital projects that are going on right now with zero cuts, but which is not mentioned at all in this fucking bullshit article? Okay, Portland's so this is being read by people that don't know anything about this. Remember. Okay, the few of us that actually know about these issues or follow this know what's going on, but that's just, 99.99% of people don't know any of this. For which binding interest not only fails to protect the public interest, but has become a cruel joke. What is that supposed to mean? How does he come up? How did they come up with this? Let's keep going. In July of last year, a frustrated arbitrator addressed the fact that TriMet and its bus operators had failed to agree on a contract for 32 months before finally siding with TriMet in proposing cuts to benefits. And then, among the most generous in the nation, we actually had European-style healthcare at TriMet. You know, that was a good thing they defended European-style healthcare, which the entire rest of the developed world gets, but Americans, because Americans are a bunch of morons who don't even know what's good for them. They're so attached to their wrong thinking that they can't see that nobody should go without health care. And TriMet, to its credit, when I was working there, when I first started, that was one of the great reasons I went there, was because they had this European-style healthcare. Among the most generous in the nation, yeah. By the way, Congress, all of Congress, all of the Senate, the State House, the governor, I think the police, all have better plans than TriMet operators. They don't mention that. But the operator did not do so without citing multiple failures by TriMet in negotiating terms, and separately, the agency was officially dinged for retaliating against union employees. You're damn right. They did all kinds of unethical shit. They stole money out of our checks, and they refunded it finally. But that's how low they sank, okay? That's how low that company sank. The end result, however, is disruption of another kind. Portland's never embraced contract as stipulated by the arbitrator in negotiations for the next contract. A holographic concept in itself? What is that supposed to mean? Okay, are blocked because of still pending dispute over who can attend. What? 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 Where are they getting this? Where's that coming from? I remember that was an issue last time around. They wanted me, actually, they wanted me to be present to watch. Of course, TriMet wouldn't have that. That leaves TriMet and its employees floundering in a feud as, built-in costs escalate and service is cut. Built-in costs escalate and service is cut. Okay, this is not what caused any service cut. See, that's a downright pernicious lie. Service is not cut because of any of this. Everybody knows that. This is the so-called COVID pandemic, that was announced by the government. And they shut everything down. This is the government doing all of this. The real losers in the stand. Is this still working? Or am I getting black? Yeah, we're still. The real losers in the standoff are rioters, the city of Portland, and everyone who might expect that a once celebrated mass transit system is a public asset to be safeguarded. It used to be celebrated way back, not in any time in the last decade or two. The legislature can help. Bill 2196 would repeal the law that elevates transit workers to the level of police, returning them with the right to strike. I'm in favor of this. I'm in favor of this. I think that the union did us wrong with this. Now, the problem is, and I think the union knows this, is that there's no solidarity among the lower ranks. The bus drivers, all these new bus drivers are in the situation of being just thankful to have a job, the elites. You want the bridge or you want to do what we tell you? It's ditch or do what we tell you. If you follow our Twitter, you've been seeing our little group talks about the ditch all the time, because the ditch is where they send people who don't do what they're told. Put another way, HB 27196 sends a signal to ATU and other transit units that they can't get satisfaction. They can walk off the job and play a higher stakes hand of collective bargaining poker. The immediate result is public pressure forces both sides to the table to resolve differerences. I'm for strike. There's no union without the right to strike. The ATU told the Oregonian they are opposed to it. I don't know why they would say that. Makes no sense to me, because without right to strike, you don't have a union. There's no point to a union. It cited comparative success of arbitration in Washington and underscored arbitration's best purpose of protecting local economies. We'll take the strike, says the anti-union Oregonian. Washington's success is Washington's success. The TriMet ATU experience with arbitration is a proven failure, and TriMet's worsening financial position owing to uncontained healthcare benefits. Let me repeat that, because they're trying to blame you, the worker who has just standard healthcare benefits. Now, you no longer have the gold-plated European style. You now have standard 80-20 or 90-20, 90-10 that you pay for. But this is what they're framing. They're saying TriMet's worsening financial position owing to uncontained health benefits for its employees poses a threat of eventual insolvency. So they have directly lied to your face with this bullshit. They've directly lied to the public. This is yellow journalism at its worst because they just lied to you. This has got nothing to do with what's happening at TriMet right now. Okay, nothing. It has nothing to do with TriMet. As a matter of fact, they haven't even lost that much money as of yet. A functional and solvent mass transit system is an essential piece of the puzzle. Blah, blah, blah. An internal memo wisely advises to fight for legislative repeal. We say go Metro. The legislature, however, faces the sharpest climate. It should realize that our bus and train operators are hardworking public servants who continual service is typically not a matter of life and death. Well, that's true for police and fire. Oh, man. Well, that's true for police. It's a stretch when applied to folks who give us a ride across town. Woo! Woo! I mean, that's a slap in the face of every transit professional there is. This paper, I mean, I know they're crap. I knew they were crap a long time ago, many years ago. I stopped reading anything, but occasionally you'll have somebody do some good work there. But they just directly lied to the public. I'm sure that TriMet had a lot of input into this, and it's sad. You know, everybody talks about Trump lying and stuff, and he does. But they lie too, okay? These people are lying to you. It's got nothing to do with uncontained healthcare benefits. It's just bullshit lie, and I hope the union finds some way to get its point of view. What at the very least, the union's entitled to have a response to this. So you better get on your horse, Shirley and John and Mary, and figure out a response that's going to get printed, a printed response, not just one for their stupid online thing. But if this thing is in the paper, you need a response.